Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Plan with Sammy. In today's video, I am moving into my Erin Condren LifePlanner and setting up some of those pages just before we officially start this planner in July. So let's go ahead and just get right on into this. Today, I do have my planner with me, and then I do have the new Erin Condren dual tip markers. And so we are going to have a little bit of fun today and move in. I have some things on my computer to help me stay on track so we know what is going on with everything. And so we are just, like I said, gonna get right on into this. Sorry, pulling up one last thing for me to use in just a minute. Let's go ahead and jump in. So one thing I decided to do off camera was put my name in, and I found these really cute stickers. I'll show you. This is the pack I have, and it actually is from Walmart. I was in the craft section. I don't remember what I needed, but I saw these and I thought, you know what? Those would be really cute in a planner. And I didn't realize it was just 3 fonts. And so you have this like more fancy block font. And then the handwriting font, which is what I love. And then a more cursive-y, elegant font. But I thought these would be so cute for this front page. And so I went ahead and just put my first name there. I was going to buy like a vinyl sticker off of Etsy to put here, just because I don't like to write my name. I think it's super cute to like put stickers down and whatnot. And I have a bunch of like Happy Planner letter stickers, but I feel like I've used all of the ones that I love so much. And so there's just extras living there that I will probably never touch. We shall see. But anyways, I just thought I'd get that out of the way just because I wanted to make sure that it was pristine in the way I wanted it. So we're going to start here on this page. This is known as the 12 box page. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Just so you guys can see. So how I'm going to set this page up. In my initial flip through, I talked about how people usually use this to like track different things, goals, other things like that, monthly tasks and whatnot. I thought it would be fun. So a little backstory. My birthday is at the end of June. My birthday is June 27th. It's in a couple weeks. I am a huge birthday person, so I'm really excited. But I will be turning 29 this year. And I have always envisioned or just felt like my birthday, because it falls at the end of June, is kind of like my natural reset. Like I evaluate, okay, how did this year of my life go? What have we learned from this year? How do we want to improve? And then my new year per se is like July to that next June. And so because of that and because of my birthday, I thought it would be fun. I'm also super sentimental and cheesy. And I thought it would be fun to make this page kind of into a vision board. But one thing I've learned about myself is I love a good vision board. Like I really do like the vision board I made at the beginning of this year. If you want to check out that video, it's a Moxie Life Planner. But I set up this really cute vision board, and it's just pictures. It honestly looks like Pinterest threw up in my planner, and it's cute and I love it. But I look at it and I'm like, wow, this is so cute and fun. But I don't know, there's just a part of my brain that responds better to lists. Okay, lists are my love language. I love a good list. And so I decided for this vision board per se, I'm going to make some mini lists. And I'm going to title this My 30 Before 30. So I made that little sticker. But I want to focus on being fully Sammy. And so I'm going to put those down. But each box, there's 12 boxes, I picked kind of like 12 different categories of my life that I want to focus on. And they're just like little things that I want to do within the next year to be more myself. I also have learned this year, and I will tell you this as I'm putting these on so we're not just sitting here. But one thing I've also learned about myself is I kind of had to grow up fast. For those that don't know, I am from Utah. I live in Utah still, Utah native, born and raised, and I do come from a culture where women tend to get married very young, just due to religious reasons and things like that. And I honestly thought I was not going to be one of those girls. And I told myself, I'm going to do other things. I'm not going to get married. I really never dated anyone seriously, like in high school. And then I met my husband in college, my first semester. And I was only 18 when I met him. And we started dating, and I really liked him. And we talked about marriage and whatnot, and we ended up getting married when I was 19. And so I became a wife really early, not even in my 20s yet. And now that I'm like on my last year of my 20s, I've really reflected on that, because my 20s are not like the 20s of other people. I spent my 20s being a wife, getting married, going and finishing school, having kids, and now I'm kind of like, wait, who am I? Because I've had to wear all these different hats, and I don't really feel like I had that time to be like, hey, what does Sammy like? Who is Sammy? And so I have made it a mission this year to kind of discover, or not discover, but recover, I guess you could say, recover who I am or who I was before all of this stuff happened. And so I don't know, I just want to focus on being my full self, because I feel like with all of these different hats and things that I've had to wear and things I've had to do, I kind of, and I am like this because I'm also a people pleaser, I kind of become a chameleon and do things where I just want people to like me, and so I'll just do whatever they want or say to kind of just fit in so I feel safe. And I'm done doing that, and I just want to be myself and be happy, because I deserve that. And so, long story short, that's what this list is. And so I am going to go ahead and start this. So I thought for the first section, calling it Love Myself, and I'm using the Petal Pink. And I honestly thought about making stickers for all of these, but I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't want to have to measure things. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. And I just thought it would be fun to kind of go in and just write it down. And so instead of numbering them, I thought it would be fun to do a little checkbox. So that way when I complete these things, I can check them off. And so I'm just using the stencil that came with this planner. It's catching on something. Okay, so for Love Myself, there are 3 things that we are going to focus on. Perfect. Okay, and those 3 things are, the first one is take 30 photos of myself throughout the year. And I think for the next box, I'm going to do one at a time because I forget how big my handwriting is. And it's fine. And then the next one, I want to buy one outfit that makes me feel confident. Yeah, we're going to need to go in with some white out for this one. It's fine. Okay, so now I need to redo this box. Do this one. Pen size, so we gotta do that. Okay, and my last one is write a letter to my 30-year-old self about what I'm learning to love, accept, and appreciate about myself. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna speed this up a little bit so we're not here all day. And I'm gonna do the rest and then we'll kind of like talk about them when I'm done. So I will be right back. Alrighty friends, we are back and let's go ahead and talk really quickly just about each of these categories. There are 30 things here. Some of them, as you can see, have like 3, some have 2, and one has 1. But I just wanted to make sure that these were things that were realistic, that I could do within a year, and are things that like didn't really cost a lot of money, but were things that I think would help me become better, more myself, and just kind of enjoy life a little bit more. And so we already talked about the love myself one. So moving on, we have move my body. So I want to complete 100 intentional walks. So with that, I just want to schedule like outdoor walks or like go to different places and walk and just have fun with that. I also want to lose 50 pounds. I think that is a good goal, good start goal with my weight loss journey. And then I want to try 5 new weight training videos. I've been doing weight training through videos on YouTube, and so I thought it would be fun to kind of like dabble in a few and try 5 different ones and just kind of see what I like and what I don't like, and find the videos that are the workouts that work best for me. The next category is read my books. So I want to read 30 books in the next year. I want to read 1 book outside my usual comfort zone. And so this is where I want you guys to comment and leave me some book recommendations. If you follow me on Instagram, I post everything that I read there. And I'll make sure to link my Instagram in the description so you can find me if you want to follow me there. I do share a lot of planning stuff, book reviews, teacher life stuff over there. But to kind of sum up my reading style, I love contemporary romance. That's probably my number 1 favorite genre. I also love historical fiction. I always tell people that if I was not an English teacher, I would be a history teacher. Love historical fiction. And I also love like dystopian fiction too. And I kind of feel like that kind of connects with historical fiction in a way. And I also love thrillers. Love thrillers and mystery type books. And so that's what I love to read. So if you have something outside of that comfort zone, please recommend it down below. I'm not really into fantasy, so if you could find me a fantasy book that would convert me over, that is like a challenge I'm giving all of you, because I want to like fantasy, but I don't really like it. Like, I liked reading Fourth Wing, and I do need to read the other books in that series, but other than that, I haven't really found any fantasy that I like. But it doesn't have to be fantasy, just something out of my comfort zone. I want to challenge myself there. And then I also want to make a favorite books of my 20s list, and I think I'm going to do that in my planner. And I want to kind of elaborate on each book, on like why that book stood out to me in my 20s. And then document my life. I think this is a fun one, and a lot of this stuff will be in my planner as well. I want to create a memory page for each month. I want to make This Is 29 page in my planner, and that just kind of be like a collage of like pictures of me and kind of like what's going on in my life. I might save some things like from places or things that we do, and just kind of document it that way. So kind of like a junk journal spread. And then I want to print at least 50 photos from my phone from the year and just make sure that they're in my planner. I really want to be good about documenting things. And so there is that. And then make pretty things. I want to finish 1 painting and display it in my home. I love art. And when I was younger, I painted all the time. And like, I took art classes. I actually took an art class in college, which was so much fun. And so I love art. And I kind of have tucked that away since becoming a mom. And I would love to bring that artistic side of me back. And so there's that. I also thought it'd be fun to complete an art class, whether that's online or I go to an art class. I know my city does like paint nights and different art classes with artists, like community artists, and so I've kind of thought about signing up for one of those. We'll see. But then I also want to make 1 handmade gift for someone and gift it to them. And so there is that. This one, I know it's hard to read because it's in that butter marker, which is probably my least favorite color out of this set. But it says Mother My Way. And this is just me focusing on being a mom. But I want to take Emery on a special date. I love taking her out. But I want to make sure this is special. It's something that we plan together. And it's not just like a out of the blue random thing. Like, I want it to be intentionally planned for both of us and go out and do something fun. And then I want to do the same thing with Zach and take him on a special date. I know that will be a little bit different because he's only 1 right now. And so I might do his later in the year once he turns 2. because that's when I started taking Emery out on like mommy and me outings, and they were simple, but I think that would be fun to do with him as well. And then I want to plan one simple family adventure for each season. In the past, if you have followed me, you've seen me make these giant seasonal bucket lists for fun things I want to do with my family, and they honestly become so overwhelming, and I have never completed one of them. And so I'm simplifying it down to one thing per season that we can do as a family. And I think that is perfect. My next section is Love Sean Well. Sean is my husband. And so I want to go on 6 intentional dates with Sean. Since having 2 kids, our date nights have definitely been a little bit more sporadic. And I don't want to say they're not intentional, but it's kind of like we just take what we can get sort of thing. So I want to plan 6 intentional dates with him. And I did write that at-home dates count. So if we want to like make a plan to be like, on this day, we're going to get the kids to bed, and then we are going to play games, or we're going to do this activity or whatever. Or even just like watching a movie. I don't know. I've seen a lot of like at-home couple date nights where they just like DoorDash food and like do something fun. And so that counts, because we are in a weird season of life with young kiddos, and I don't want to have to rely on babysitters all the time. And so that is the plan. And then I also want to write Sean a letter for our 10th wedding anniversary. I don't know why I wrote your. I meant to write our. So that's a typo, but I could easily fix that. But we are celebrating 10 years this year in December. And so I do want to write him a letter and just kind of reflect on the past decade that we have spent together. Okay, the next one is choose joy. So I want to have a yes day with my family. I think that will be so much fun. I want to do one thing that feels silly because it sounds fun. And I know that's kind of worded weird, but if you know me in real life, I feel like I'm a very fun, witty, goofy person. And like I've said before, I'm kind of like a chameleon in public though. And I kind of conform or try to fit whatever the situation is. And like at work, like my students kind of see my goofy side, but I'm not as real as I could be with them. And I'm very introverted around other people. And so I just want to do one thing that's silly and fun to be more myself. Because when I'm at home, I am a total different person. And so I kind of want to embrace who I really am and let down those walls and just do something silly. I don't know what that silly thing is, but we're gonna discover that together and figure it out. I also want to make a 29 playlist with songs that feel like this season of life. I think that'd be super fun to do, and then just play it all the time, and it'll be great. The next section is learn something new. So I want to learn one new skill through a class, YouTube series, or a tutorial of some kind. I am making this one different than the art class. Okay, so this thing, I want it could be something creative, but it's not the art class. It's something different. And so I know like I've wanted to learn like calligraphy, and my husband actually bought me a bunch of stuff for that when I was pregnant with Zach, because I thought when I'm postpartum, I'm going to learn this so I have something to look forward to. And I haven't opened them. They're brand new, sitting in my closet. Same with crochet. Also last year, postpartum, I thought I'm going to learn how to crochet and it's going to be so much fun because I'm going to have all this time, and that never happened either. So I also have crochet stuff in my closet. So I might have some things that I could do that I already have. And so that will be fun. I also thought, though, maybe this could be like an intellectual, like, language skill, because I know Spanish, a little bit of Spanish, because I took it in junior high and high school, and I took a college class of Spanish. But I never used it out of school, and now I kind of wish I knew it, because I work at a school where a lot of our students, and especially their parents, they only speak Spanish, or Spanish is their first language. And so I think that would be really valuable to me as a teacher, to be able to speak both English and Spanish. And the next one is, I want to cook or bake one new recipe. At the beginning of the year, I wanted to do like a baking challenge where I was baking something new every month, and that just became overwhelming and never really happened. And so we're going to pick one new thing, and we're going to figure that out. And then create a cozy home. I want to refresh one room in my house so it feels more pretty, peaceful, and functional. And I'm actually thinking that's going to be my bedroom as I'm sitting here filming and looking at it. I want to have a cute bedroom. I feel like I deserve that. I always had a cute bedroom growing up, and then I got married and my sheets turned from happy girly sheets to boring blue and gray sheets because my husband likes those colors. And I kind of want to reclaim my room a little bit and be like, this is our room. I'm not going to make it super girly, but I do want to make it like a fun, relaxing place for both of us. And so, challenge accepted. And then I do want to declutter 10 bags or boxes of things from my home and donate them, get rid of them. I really just want to declutter my house. My parents always said growing up, we're going to clean the house like we're moving. And we knew that that's like hardcore declutter. If you haven't used it in the last 3 months, you're throwing it away. I kind of want to have that mentality this year and just kind of like let go of things. Because as I've gotten older, I've realized that I really don't need a lot of things. I don't use a lot of things. I would rather use my time and energy maintaining all these things and cleaning all the time and going out and doing things with my family. So we're going to get our house into a place where we can do that. And then honor the teacher is my next category. And that's just to honor myself as a teacher. I want to create one unit I'm genuinely proud of. I've created a lot of units, but I really want to be more passionate with my units this year. And so I think that would be fun to just like really create like a passion project unit that still aligns with standards and everything my kids need, but it's just something I'm really passionate about. And then I want to write a why I teach letter to keep for the hard days, just to live on my desk, to read when I need it. I hate the phrase, remember your why. It's probably the worst phrase for teachers just because it's so triggering. But I really do want to remember and remind myself like why I chose this and why I'm still here as a teacher, because I do love education and I do love teaching and I love my students and I love learning with them. And so I want to document that. And then the last one is be fully Sammy. And I just want to do one brave thing that feels like I'm choosing myself, because I've always done the things to choose other people and to please other people, but I want to do one brave thing this next year that feels like it's completely my choice. Like even when it's like my turn to pick where we go out to eat or whatever, I don't even feel like that's fully my choice, because I asked my husband like, oh, what do you feel like tonight? And then I asked my daughter like, oh, well, what do you feel like tonight? And I take that information to make a decision, and yes, I'm making the decision, but it's based on what they're feeling like, and I just kind of pick what I want based off of that. So I want to find something that feels like I'm choosing me. But anyways, I know that was a lot, but I'm really passionate about this. I'm really excited to use these pages in this way. And so anyways, we are going to move on. And so the next stop we have, my coil is like being weird. Anyways, this is like the year at a glance. And I typically use these pages for myself for school. And this year, I actually am more excited to use them because my daughter is starting kindergarten this year. And so I actually will have 2 schedules on here. Well, technically 3, because there'll be one that applies to both of us, like our days off. And then we have my schedule and then like her schedule, if that makes sense. Because like there's some days that she's going to have early outs where I don't. Parent-teacher conferences are different from elementary to secondary in our school district. And so I am going to quickly go through, and I think I'm just going to use this again, but I think I'm going to use the circle this time. And I just have 3 colors. And so blue is for both of us because both of us, one of our school colors is blue. And then purple is for her, pink is for me because those are our favorite colors. And so I have the calendar here. And I am going to just go through and speed this up and document what this is going to look like. I don't even think I'm going to make a key down at the bottom. Maybe I will, but I might just do that later. I don't even know. But I do for sure want to have everything written out. So I'm going to speed this up and then we will move on to the next thing. Back. We have it all set up. I did decide just to go ahead and use the color for each category and just write what that was down below because we do have lines now, so I decided to take advantage of that. And it really was mostly the same. We are on the same schedule for the most part. Really the only 2 purple things are her parent-teacher conferences, which are different from mine. But I did want to put those on here and note just because they are early out days, which means she'll be getting out at 12:30. And so I just need to make sure we have a place for her to be because I will be at work for sure still. And my husband, his job is a little weird because he is a delivery driver for Coca-Cola, and so just really depends on his route that day. And so anyways, this is what that looks like. I think it turned out good. I wasn't really looking for like this to be like super cute or anything. This is really just more like a functional page to be like, okay, school-wise, what is going on this month? I did have a little oopsie right here. Thank goodness for whiteout. The Erin Condren markers don't write the best over whiteout, but I made it work. And all is well. It will be fine. So moving on, I'm leaving these pages as is for now. I don't know what else to do with them, and I'm not going to touch these at all. I might touch them later, like just to kind of like play with like how I want things to look. We are moving in to July. I'm actually gonna be setting this up in another video, but I do kind of want to show you kind of like what I've mapped out. so far on how I'm going to be using this page, I just don't know what I'm going to be doing here. I've thought about maybe like listing the sticker kits that I want to use for the month there. I've done that before, but I don't know. So if you have any ideas for how you would use this box, please leave them down in the comments below, and we'll get that figured out. This is going to be my memory page. And then we're going to be jumping now to the back of the planner to set up some notes pages. So based on my 30 before 30 list, I have a lot of like pages that I need to create and make as the year goes on. And so I'm not going to be using all of my notes pages, but there were 3 things that I wanted to make sure were documented, like set up and ready to go. So here's 2 of them. And I did make these stickers myself. I just use Canva. I've had people message me before asking how I make stickers. I use Canva and I just build it in there. And then I just sometimes, like, I have these on hand so I can show you, but like stickers like this that I make, I then will transport it to my Cricut, and then my Cricut will cut it out for me, because I've tried cutting those out by hand and it is tedious. But if it's just something like this, I just print it to size my planner, and I just print it from Canva to my printer, and then I just cut it out myself. So like the lines aren't always perfect, but it's fine. That's what I keep telling myself. And so this little sheet that I have, I called it Step It Up, and it is just a little tracker to help me track my steps for each day. And I thought this would be kind of fun. This is like a year in pixels, but it's for my steps. And yeah, we're just gonna have fun with this and see how it goes. But I kind of made the colors match the Erin Condren new colorway, so it kind of matches. But and then I just kind of have it by category, so like 0 to 2,999 is this color, and then like we have 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 9,000, and then 11,000 plus is a different color. And so this is just to kind of see like how I'm moving each day, and I think this will just be a fun way to track things. I was tracking them in like an Excel spreadsheet, and that was nice because then I could like calculate how many steps I was getting per day, and then like do a whole month thing. But for this, we're just gonna keep it simple, and I just have that in there. And then yeah, so starting in July, I'll just color in a box for each day, and then I have this little, like, every step has a little sparkle just to make it fun and cute. But yeah, I just laugh because when I first started like making cute notes pages, I would do them all by hand, and it was so tedious, but it was also fun, and I didn't have kids at the time, and so I had the time to like draw out a tracker like this and color it and make it cute. But I don't have that time anymore. So Canva for the win. So that is my first one. And then my second one is just to track my weight. And so I have it saying feeling strong, looking good. And then I have these little scales that I'm going to be coloring in for every pound that I lose. And so I haven't decided if I want to like write in the weight or if I just want to color in the scales. Because if one scale equals 1 pound, I feel like that is good enough, honestly. And I keep telling myself the goal, I mean the major goal is to get them all colored in, but if they all don't get colored in, by June 30th of next year, I'm going to be okay. Because I know things are going to be good no matter what. And so, keeping a positive mindset with that. So there's that one. Weight tracker. Doesn't that look so cute? So cute. And then my last one that I am going to do is like a little reading recap. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of have like a little bracket for the year, which I'm kind of sad because I've read some pretty good books between January and June of this year that won't get to be on the bracket, but that's okay. But I've broken it up, so I'll write my favorite book that I read for each month, and then between like those books, so between the books I read in July, August, and September, I'm gonna pick a winner, okay? And then we'll do it again in November, October, November, December, pick a winner. January, February, March, pick a winner. And then once I have those winners, I have to pick a winner between those two books. And then a winner between these two books. And then my all-time favorite book of this academic year. And so I thought that would be fun. And then I want to write my top author that I read throughout the year. My top genre. The number of books. My goal is 30, but I would love just to document that. And then I want to do like a breakdown of like books read by Kindle, which I don't have a Kindle, but it is on my birthday list to get a Kindle. Are Kindles even worth it? That's my other question. But I do have that broken down, and then physical books, and then audiobooks. And so I thought it'd be fun just kind of see like what is the most popular way Sammy is reading, which right now it's audiobook for sure because I listen to books while I walk, but it might become physical books again once I go back to school, so we shall see. Okay, and we're just gonna stick that down. We're good. And oh, why is it making that weird noise? Are we good? We're good. Okay. And then I do love my book washi, and so we are gonna put some of that like down here, I think, just to give it a little bit of pizzazz. Where is my washi cutter? It's buried. Perfect. That's cute. I kind of want to add some up here, but I kind of feel like it clashes with that, so I'm not going to. But anyways, so then there is that. And then I was thinking, because I'm not using the rest of these note pages, so obviously one of them, sorry friends, my daughter got something stuck and needed my help. But anyways, I'm thinking of having this be like my list, my book list for my 20s. Maybe do both sides, I don't know. And then like my this is 29 page, and just kind of like have some more like documentation there. So these will be more like memory pages and fun little lists. And then this is 2028, so I'm not even worried about this yet. But anyways, I will share these as I create them. Maybe we'll create them together on YouTube. Maybe I'll just sit down and create them and then share them with you and how they turned out. But I'm just keeping my planner set up really simple this year. I know I've done years where every page is a note page, but I really want to focus on things and keep it simple. I don't think I shared this with you, but back on this dashboard page, I know I had sticky notes, but I'm getting a little tracker to like track what books I read. And so instead of like having a giant note page for all the books. I'm just going to track them here and then pick my favorite books to go in my little book bracket and kind of do it that way. So anyways, there is my planner setup for this Erin Condren planner. I think it turned out so good and super cute. I absolutely love this page. I think it is such a good use of this page. Super fun. I think you could do this for any year. It doesn't have to be like a milestone year. And so I just love it. Let me know, what are your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, don't forget book recommendations, note recommendations for this little box. I'd love to hear all of your ideas down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my planning content here on YouTube, because in our next video, I am going to be moving in to July and getting all of that set up. And so it's going to be so much fun. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.